श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री सीतारामचन्द्राय नमः। ॐ श्री तुलसीदासाय नमः। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। जब ते राम प्रताप खगेसा, उदित भयउ अति प्रबल दिनेसा। पूरी प्रकाश रहेउ तिहु लोका, बहु तिन्ह सुख बहु तिन्ह मन शोका। जिन्हि शोक ते कहउ बखानी, प्रथम अविद्या निशान सानी। अघौ लोक जह तहा लुकानी, काम क्रोध कैरभ सकुचानी। विविध कर्म गुण काल सुभाउ, ए चकोर सुख लहै न काऊ। मत्सर मान मोह मद चोरा, इन्ह करहु नरन कवनि होरा। धर्म तड़ाग ज्ञान विज्ञाना, ए पंकज बिकसे विधि नाना। सुख संतोष विराग विवेका, बियत शोक एकोक अनेका। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। यह प्रताप रवि जाके, उर जब करई प्रकाश। पछिले बारहि प्रथम जे, कहे ते पावहि नास। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
प्रातन सहित राम एक बारा, संग परम प्रिय पवन कुमारा। सुंदर उपवन देखन गए, सब तरु कुसुमित पल्लव नए। जानि समय सनकादिक आए, तेज पुंज गुणशील सुहाए। ब्रह्मानंद सदा लय लीना, देखत बालक बहुकालीना। रूप धरे जनचारि उबेदा, समदर्शी मुनि विगत विभेदा। आशा बसन व्यसन इह तिन्हि, रघुपति चरित होहि तह सुनहि। तहा रहे सनकादि भवानी, जह घट संभव मुनि बर ज्ञानी। राम कथा मुनि बहु विधि बरनी, ज्ञान जोनि पावक जिमि अरनी। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। देखि राम मुनि आवत, हर्षि दंडवत कीन्ह। स्वागत पूछी पीत पट, प्रभु बैठन कहु दीन्ह। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। कीन्ह दंडवत दीनिहु भाई, सहित पवन सुत सुख अधिकाई। मुनि रघुपति छवि अतुल विलोकी, भये मगन मन सके न रोकी। श्यामल गात सरोरु हल तुलसी राम काम मद गंजय श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम परमानंद कृपायतन मणि परिपूरण काम प्रेम भगति अनपायनी देहु हमहि श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
देहु भगति रघुपति अति पावन त्रिविधि ताप भवदापन सावन प्रणत काम धुक धेनु कलपतरु होई प्रसन्न जे प्रभु ये भव वारिधि कुंभज रघुनायक सेवक सुलभ सकल सुखदायक मन संभव दारुण दुखदारे दीन बंधु समता विस्तारे आस त्रास ईर्षादि निवारक विनय विवेक विरति विस्तारक भूप मौलि मणि मंदन धरणी देहि भगति संस्कृति सहितरणी मुनि मन मानस हंस निरंतर चरण कमल वंदित अज शंकर रघुकुल केतु सेतु श्रुति रक्षक काल करम सुभाव गुण भक्षक तारन तरन हरन सब दूषण तुलसीदास प्रभु त्रिभुवन भूषण श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
बार बार स्तुति करी प्रेम सहित सिरुनाई ब्रह्म भवन सनकादिगे अति अभीष्ट वर पाई सिया वर रामचंद्र पद जय शरण शंकर हरि ओम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम 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 जय राजा राम 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 जय सीता राम 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 जय राजा राम 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 जय सीता राम सनकादिक विधि लोक सिधाये भ्रातन राम चरण सिरनाये पूछत प्रभु ही सकल सकुचाहि चित वही सब मार विषय अलंपट शील गुनाकर पर दुख दुख सुख सुख देखे पर समभूत रिपु विमद विरागी लोभामर्ष हर्ष भय त्यागी कोमल चित दीनन पर दाया मन बच क्रम मम भगति अमाया सब ही मान प्रद आपु अमानी भरत प्राण सम मम ते प्राण प्रधान भावा अवगुण सिंधु मंदमति कामी वेद विदूषक प्रधन स्वामी विप्रद्रोह सुरद्रोह विशेषा दंभ कपट जिय धरे सुबेसा राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय साई राम 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 जय राजा राम 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 जय साई राम। ऐसे अधम मनुज खला कृत जुग त्रेता नाही द्वापर कछुक वृंद बहु होई हहि कलि जुग माही राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय साई राम 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 जय राजा राम 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 जय साई राम 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 जय राजा राम 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 जय साई राम 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 जय राजा राम 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 जय साई राम 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 जय साई राम 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 जय साई राम।
बोलो प्रभु रामचंद्र की जय। बोलो श्री सत्य भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा की। आनंद रमना
अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण
केशव हरि नारायण
अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण
केशव नरि नारायण
आत्मा रामानंद रमणा
आत्मा राम आनंद
आत्मा रामानंद रमणा
आत्मा राम
भव भय हरना वंदित चरणा
भव भय हरना मंदित करना
भव भय हरना वंदित चरणा
भव हरना मंदित करना
रघुकुल भूषण राजीव लोचन
रघुकुल भूषण राजीव नयना
रघुकुल भूषण राजीव लोचन
रघुकुल भूषण राजीव नयना
आदि नारायण आनंद शयना
आदि नारायण आनंद शयना
आदि नारायण आनंद शयना
आदि नारायण आनंद शयना
साई नारायण साई नारायण
आदि नारायण साई नारायण
आत्मा रामानंद रमणा
आत्मा राम आनंद रमणा
आत्मा रामानंद रमणा
आत्मा राम साई नयना
आत्मा रामानंद रमणा
आत्मा राम आनंद रमणा
आत्मा रामानंद रमणा
आत्मा राम आनंद रमणा
अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण
अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण
अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण
अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण
भव भय हरना वंदित चरणा
भव भय हरना वंदित बोलो
भव भय हरना वंदित चरणा
ओ भव भय हरना वंदित करना
रघुकुल भूषण राजीव नयना
ओ रघुकुल भूषण
रघुकुल भूषण राजीव नयना
रघुकुल भूषण आनंद
आदि नारायण आनंद शयना
आदि नारायण आनंद रमणा
आदि नारायण आनंद शयना
केशव हरि नारायण
भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा
भवय हरणा वंदित चरणा
रघुकुल भूषण राजीव लोचन
भवय भूषण
राजीव लोचन आदि नारायण अनंत शयना
आदि नारायण आनंद शयना
सच्चिदानंदा साई नारायण
चिदानंद साई नारायण
सच्चिदानंदा सत्य नारायण
चिदानंद साई नारायण
आत्मा रामानंद रमण
आत्मा रामानंद रमण
आत्मा रामानंद
हो,
रमण
आत्मा राम आनंद रमण
आत्मा रामानंद रमण
आत्मा राम आनंद रमण
आनंद रमण
आनंद रमण
आनंद रमण
आनंद रमण
आनंद रमण
श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय राम
ओ श्री राम जय राम साई राम श्री राम जय राम साई राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम
जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम
जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय राम
श्री
राम जय राम
जय राम
जय राम
जय राम
साई राम साई राम
अब मोहि भरोस हनुमंता
श्री राम जय राम
अब मोहि भरोस हनुमंता
जय राम
बिनु हरि कृपा मिलहि नहीं संता
श्री राम जय राम
बिनु हरि कृपा मिलहि नहीं संता
श्री राम जय राम
अब मोहि भरोस हनुमंता
श्री राम जय राम
अब मोहि भरोस हनुमंता
श्री राम
जय राम
बिनु हरि कृपा मिलहि नहीं संता
श्री राम जय राम
एहि सन हाथी करी औ पहचानी
श्री राम जय राम
साधु ते होई न कारज हानि
श्री राम जय राम
हठी करी भऊ पहचानी।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
यही सन हठी करी भऊ पहचानी।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
साधु ते होई न कारज हानि।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
साधु ते होई न कारज हानि।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई।
श्री राम जय रामा।
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई।
श्री राम जय रामा।
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई।
श्री राम जय रामा।
राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई।
श्री राम जय रामा।
राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
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 गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपितजम्बू फलसारभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम्। या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता। सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती। सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती। निःशेषजाड्यापहा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरम् राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राम कथा के तेई अधिकारी जिनके सत्संग गति अति प्यारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
राम आके तेई अधिकारी जिनके सत्संग गति अति प्यारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
राम चरण बारिज जब देखऊं तब निज जन्म फल कर लेखऊं।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
राम सदा से वक्र रुचि राखी वेद पुराण साधु सुर साखी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
रामचंद्र गुण वरन लागा सुनत ही सीता कर दुख भागा।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
सीता राम चरण रति मोरे अनुदिन बढ़ऊ अनुग्रह तोरे।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
गगन चरई रज पवन प्रसंगा कीच ही नीच जल संगा।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
साधु असाधु सदन सुख सारी सुमिरहि राम देहि गनिगारी।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
मंगल भवन मंगलहारी प्रभु सुदशरथ अजिर बिहारी।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
बड़े भाग मां welcome all of you to this satsang tonight. We are saying now, from today, the Uttarakanda of this Ramcharitamanas. And the chanting is a little bit ahead of me there, but I am going to begin the Uttarakanda today. Today, many verses would have been chanted already. We saw the removal of Ravan. This was the main purpose of the avatar. All the main purpose, and there are many other reasons for the avatar, not just one. Bhagavan had, we saw in Balkand, many reasons for taking the avatar. And what moved him at that time was the plight of the gods. They all went and propitiated at Bhagavan and told him that we are suffering tremendously at the hands of this Ravan. Ravan had really subjugated the whole of the world to his rule and his atrocities and his great evil. And so the earth also, Mother Earth also couldn't bear the burden anymore of this tyrant. And so they all went and asked Bhagavan to come and remove this Ravan. And Bhagavan gladly accepted to do so. And we just finished that Lankakan where he finally removes that Ravan. Now, when we left it, we saw Bhagavan heading towards Ayodhya on the Pushpaka Viman. That was yesterday. And Tulsidashi describes, Raha ek din avadakari ati arat pura log. One day was left. Bhagavan sent Hanumanji ahead to tell Bharat, to assure Bharat that he is coming. Because he told, we saw, that if I don't go to Ayodhya immediately from Lanka, that he's not sure whether he will see Bharat alive. Bharat is that devotee who is separated from his, the bhakta who is separated from Bhagavan. And that is the true nature of a bhakta. He cannot live without Bhagavan. That is true bhakti. A bhakta cannot live without Bhagavan. We cannot live without a little AC and all the other things. All the other little things in life, and we don't get this or we don't get that. If really, you should see how fragile our life. Suppose we had to come to this satsang bare feet. When we were about to leave, we couldn't find our shoes. We dropped satsang too, Because we couldn't find the shoes, we'll also drop satsang. And satsang is where we talk about Bhagavan. So we drop Bhagavan for shoes. Please see how you just have to see your own life. Don't look at neighbor's life. You see your own life. And see how dependent you are on so many things. Immediately, the shoes take precedence over Bhagavan. You just have to see that. Because nobody has ever gone to satsang before without shoes and died. If you go to satsang without shoes, you will die. You will not die. Somebody said, but Swamiji, why do I want to run the risk of being the first? You will not die. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. But we can't go. You see how such a small thing. So he drops satsang in place of shoes. Yeah. So, and what is true devotion? That bhakta cannot live, like a fish cannot live out of water. Bhagavan tells, if I don't go back to Ayodhya, no, I am not sure. Bhagavan is telling, and he knows the bhakta also. If I don't go back to Ayodhya, no, I am not sure whether I will see Bharat alive. That is like fish out of water. And this is the devotion which is spoken about in this Ramcharitamanas. There in Ayodhya, Bharat. It's not there on our list. Bharat thinks. Bhagavan is coming. But Bharat is thinking there. रहेऊ एक दिन अवधि अधारा समुझत मन दुख भयऊ अपारा कारण कवन नाथ आयऊ जानी कुटिल जी धौ मोहि विसरमयऊ कारण कवन नाथ नहीं आयऊ जानी कुटिल की धौ मोहि विसरमयऊ जय रघुराम जय श्री राम श्री राम रहे एक दिन अवधि अधारा 1 day is left now and see how Bharat is counting the days and in those days when you go shopping you never used to get any calendar, you know. Nowadays when you go shopping they give you a printed calendar. But Bharat counted every day exact. And Bhagwan also, then in Lanka on battlefield where they have calendar. But they know exact how many days. Look at that. 1 day is left. 14 years, 1 minus 1 day. And Bharat thinks Bhagwan has not come. Samujhata man dukh bhayau apara. Great sorrow came to his mind. Now, if you have been following the story, I want you to see how interesting this whole thing is. These type of things also speak about the nature of the various paths that we encounter. Bharat becomes very miserable because Bhagwan has not showed up, even though 1 day is still left. Now he thinks, Karan kavanana nayayu. For what reason Bhagwan has not come? This is the same Bharat who had assured Bhagwan Sri Ram that all sorrows from his heart has gone away. This is the same Bharat who there had gotten 100% assurance and he felt settled and he knows that Bhagwan loves him and Bhagwan tells also. And Bhagwan told here again that he loves Bharat like his own life. Prana Priya Bharat. But here now, Bhagwan has not showed up and Bharat is worried. And Tulsidas is dukha bhayav apar, limitless sorrow he had. See the strong words. Then he's thinking, why Bhagwan has not come? And then see the next line. Jani kutil kidhau mohi bisarayav means maybe that Bhagwan has come to find out that I am of demented mind, you know. He's come to find out that I am Mahapapi and therefore he has cast me out and he's not coming back. But he's the same Bharat who was assured 100% there. And I want to tell you tonight that this is exactly the plight of a bhakta. This is called as vichalit mind, vichalit mana. Yes, that mind which is fickle and all the time jumping from one side to the next. Vichalit mana. And every bhakta is plagued with this thing. Bharat is the very incarnation of bhakti. And he also is disturbed that Bhagwan has not come. So one who chooses the path of bhakti. You see, Jnani does what? A Jnani sits there and Jnani renounces whole world, everything. Gurur naiva shishya. There is no guru, there is no shishya also. He renounced everything. And his mind is absolutely still, unmoving. This is Jnana Marg. He is absorbed in samadhi. And every thought, every feeling of separation and differentiation and duality, everything disappears. But a bhakta, he retains body, he retains mind, he retains everything. And all of those things, they are to worship his Bhagwan. But if that Bhagwan doesn't show up, that body, mind, intellect becomes vichalit. This is the Bhakti Marg. So one who chooses Bhakti Marg has to cater for this. You see? It means to say, that, and you'll see this all the time in the Puranas, everywhere, that even though Naradji is so close to Bhagwan, we saw this in Balkand also, Naradji is so close to Bhagwan, still, because he is that devotee of Bhagwan, any little thing makes his mind. See, one day, Bhagwan Krishna, he saw that among the devotees, actually there's another thing about among devotees. When there's this devotee and that devotee and that devotee, this devotee always feels Bhagwan loves me most. And that devotee, no, Bhagwan loves me the most. And Bhagwan, this one, loves me the most, all like that. So this devotee is always, because it's part of devotion, they're always having competition. We do this consciously and unconsciously also, all the time. Baba loved me the most. Because Baba did such and such for me. He didn't do for you, you see. So Baba loved me the most. People do this unconsciously also. But this is the part of devotion. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he realized between Rukmini and this Narad and all of them who were there, they had little competition. That they Bhagavan loves this one the most, and the other one thinking Bhagavan loves me the most. And so one day Bhagavan fell unconscious. Bhagavan made a plan. He fell unconscious. So they quickly went and brought that doctor. Bhagavan set up the whole thing. Brought that doctor and all. Doctor said, well, the only way for Bhagavan to regain his consciousness is the dust of his true devotee's feet. The dust of the feet of his true devotee. That dust has to be put on his head. So the true devotee of Bhagavan has to come here and put his foot on Bhagavan's head, and that dust rub off on his head, he'll gain consciousness. So everybody was thinking about who is Bhagavan's true devotee now. So the news reached Narad, because Narad thought, I am the greatest devotee of Bhagavan, because he goes everywhere chanting Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. He's a great devotee of Bhagavan. So they told Narad what happened. Narad came quickly. Yes, well then, that is me only. So Narad lifted his foot to put on Bhagavan's head. Then the Vaidya told, but if you are not the true devotee of Bhagavan, and you put your foot on Bhagavan's head, you're going to Narak, you know. Narad don't lift his foot halfway, put it back down. So Rukmiya asked, what happened, Narad? He said, no, I was just doing a little exercise, you know. He's scared now. Didn't put. Then the news reached Satyabhama. Satyabhama came there and said, oh, the one who puts his foot on Bhagwan, if they are not his true devotee, they are going to Narak. There is nothing. For Bhagwan, I don't mind going to Narak. And immediately Satyabhama put their foot on Bhagwan, got up. The true devotee is the one who, if they have to go to hell or give their life or die or whatever, you see Narad? He doing exercise. So this is the kind of devotion which is there in and the mind of Narad also. I am a true devotee of Bhagwan, but look, the mind becomes vigilant, shaky. When the real test comes, his mind becomes shaky. That is the path of devotion. So now, if you just jump few verses, this is what he is thinking. This is what Bharat is thinking now. Then jump a few verses, you see, Jana avaguna prabhu mana nakau, just a couple lines down. That Bhagwan does not look at the defects and shortcomings of the devotee. But just now you are thinking, Bhagwan was thinking you are kutil, and so he is not coming. So you are thinking you are kutil. Then next thought, and he has sorrow, so much sorrow. Next thought, no, Bhagwan doesn't look at the shortcomings of his devotee. More jya bharo sadra soy milihahi. And then I have great faith. So his mind is jumping from doubt to faith. Doubt to faith. That is Bhakti Marg. This is invariably a part of Bhakti. Why? Because in Bhakti Marg, there is the acceptance of duality. There is Bhakta and Bhagwan. There is a duality. You see? And where you can't have, I told you now, they hang up the water in the calabash. The ants come and eat all the calabash and leave the water hanging. Is that possible? That is not possible. That is just a joke only. Once you have one, you have to have the, if you have the water there, you must have the calabash, isn't it? You can't have water hanging by itself. The two always go together like that. So, second thing, in duality, you cannot just have one duality. Once you accept one duality, Bhakta and Bhagavan, then you accept all duality. You cannot just have a duality for one thing. So in Bhakti Maya, there is an acceptance of duality, and so there is the acceptance of all the other things in duality. So one moment, his mind is miserable. Next moment, more jia bharosa dhira soi. Firm faith. The Bhagavan will come and give me darshan. But just know you yourself are crying. You see? So there's a duality. Swing from this side to this side. That is clearly there in this Ramcharita Manas. Now, Bhagavan had sent Hanumanji ahead to tell Bharat, to make sure that Bharat is comforted that I am coming. So Hanumanji, and see, interesting thing. Pushpak Viman is there, and Bhagavan is coming under Pushpak Viman. And Pushpak Viman is fast like lightning. But still he sent Hanumanji ahead. Why? Because Bhagavan was giving a tour. Right? And he had to stop different places and all that sort of thing. So he sent Hanumanji ahead. Now, Hanumanji sees Bharat. This is number 1 Kha.
जटा मुकुट कृष घात राम जटा मुकुट कृष घात राम राम रघुपति जपत श्रवत नयन जल जात सिया
Baithe Dekhi. Hanumanji comes to Nandigram, where the Bharat is staying outside. On our last trip in 2019, we had gone to this place. All those who were on that trip. Nandigram, outside Ayodhya, where Bharat was staying. Bharat comes there, Hanumanji comes there. And Baithe Dekhi, saw Bharat sitting on Kusasan. Kusasan means on Kusha grass. Then Jata Mukut. On his head, Jata. Krisaghat. On his body, thin, lean, skinny. Not like a well-fed Trini. Quite unlike a well-fed Trini. His body, skinny, duble patle itna. And then Rama Rama Raghupati Japata. Sitting there chanting Ram Ram Ram. Shravata Nayana Jalajat. And his lotus eyes streaming tears. This is Hanumanji's first sight of Bharatji. Then Hanumanji said, Dekhat Hanuman Ati Harashev. Hanumanji was very happy seeing him. Then he spoke out. What spoke? Jasu Biraha Sochahu Dinarati. The one whom you think about because of your separation. Day and night you are thinking because of your separation. Ratahu Nirantara Guna Gana Pati, whose glory you go on repeating day and night also. Whose great qualities and all. Raghukula Tilaka Sujasu Sukadata, that great apple of the eye of the Raghukul, like that. Ayau Kusala Deva Munitrata. He is coming, or he has come. That Rama. When Bharat heard this, Bhagwan Ram also had told Hanumanji to take the form of a Brahmana and go there. And so Hanumanji came to, everywhere he's going in some different form. So Bharat he hears this now, and Hanumanji tells the Ram Katha also, Ripuranajiti Sujasa Sura Gavat. That Rama conquered that enemy on the battlefield and all. And then Bharat asked, Ko tuma tat? Who are you, my dear? Kahate aaye? From where have you come? Mohi parama priya bachana sunaye. And you told me these most loving words. Dina bandhu raghupati kara kinkara sunata bharata bheteu uti sadhat. I am that servant of that Dina bandhu Bhagwan Ram, he tells. And of course the very traditional meeting now between the two of them. Bharat could not contain himself. And then, embracing Hanumanji with so much of love and all that portion. Now we have to move on. Kahu kapi kabahu kripala gosai sumirahi mohi dasaki nai. Tell me, oh Hanuman, does Bhagwan remember me? You see that devotee? Does Bhagwan remember me as his das? Bharat is asking Hanumanji. Suppose Hanumanji said no. What will happen to that devotee? His heart will just break like that. This is the path of devotion. Rama prana priya nath tumha. Hanumanji calls Bharat as nath. Rama prana priya nath tumha satya vachana mama gat. You are as dear to Rama as his own life. Prana priya. But this phrase is used more often for Bharat than any other person in this Ramayana. Prana priya. Dear as life. Prana priya Bharat. Puni puni milata Bharat suni harashana hridaya samat. With so much of joy, he embraces Hanumanji. And Hanumanji is telling him this. And then Hanumanji returns to Bhagwan Ram. No, Bharat left Nandigram there. And he went to the palace. And he broke this news that Bhagwan Ram is coming. Harasha Bharata Kosala Pura Aye Samachara Saba Gurahi Sunai, told all to the gurus and sages and everybody who were there. And the joy spread now throughout the whole of Ayodhya. And they get together a welcoming party. Well, you know, actually, it is on this portion of Ramayana that the tradition in Trinidad says that Diwali started, that they decorated and put festoons and all various types of things on the streets, and then they lit lamps and all of that sort of thing. In North India. In South India, different stories and all. And who's right? All are right. Why one have to be right? You are taught one has to be right because you are brought up in a Judo-Christian milieu in the Western civilization. So one is right and one is wrong. And that is what you are taught. But you have to think like a Hindu. All are right at the same time. Why? There's a simple explanation for that. Simply, see, in the north, they celebrate Diwali here because Bhagwan Ram is coming back. In south, they celebrate because of the slaying of some other Narakasur or this one or that one. Is different states, different reasons, right? So I'm saying, who is right? All are right because the whole country were made up of different states, and so they have that practice there. You just practice one thing in one place and another thing in another place. It's just, these are all social customs and all. So everybody is doing according to their own. Now they form this party to go and meet Bhagwan Ram in number 3.
हर्षित गुर परिजन अनुज भूसुर वृंद समेतो राम भूसुर वृंद समेत चले भरत मन प्रेम अति सन्मुख कृपा निकेत सिया वर रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र जी की जय शरण
Harishita Guru, Parijana, Anuja, Bhusura, Brinda Samet, all the people now. Guru, Vasishta Maharaj, who was there. And Parijana, all the family members of the palace and all. Anuja means to say Shatrughna. And Bhusura, all the Brahmanas, Vrinda, in hordes, groups of all of them. Chale Bharata Mana Prema Ati. With great love now they all go to meet Sanmukha Kripaniket, to meet Bhagwan there face to face. Then Iha Bhanukula Kusala Divakar Bhagwan now coming there and from his aerial chariot showing all the various places in Ayodhya in some very nice verses now. This is before number 4. You have to see. Bhagwan is telling in his chariot Angad, Nala, Neel, Jammu and Hanumanji, Hanumanji has just returned, and Sugriv and all of them, they are coming along with him, and he's telling to all of them about Ayodhya. Ayodhya is, even when all of us were growing up, we used to hear about Ayodhya. I said, Bhagwan himself now, from his own lips, he tells the glory of Ayodhya in these verses. Jadyapi sab bay कुंठ बखाना वेद पुराण वेदित जग जाना
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
अवधपुरी सम प्रिय नहीं सो यह प्रसंग जान नहीं को
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
जन्मभूमि सम पुरी सुहावनी उत्तर दिशि पावनी जाम जनते बिनहि प्रयासा मम समीप नर पावहि बासा
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
साई राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
साई राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
यद्यपि सब वैकुंठ बखाना वेद पुराण विदित guna gana, even though the Vedas and all the rishis, munis and everybody glorify Vaikunt, where is the Bhagwan Vishnu stays, right? Bhagwan Vishnu's avatar is only Ram. So even though they all glorify this Vaikunt, Avadapuri Samapriya Nahi so, even Vaikunt is not loved so much as I love this Ayodhya. Bhagwan loves this Ayodhya. And then Yaha Prasanga Janai Ko. Some people know this only. Everybody don't know. Yaha Baat Bhed Koi Virale Hi Jante Hai. Means a few people know. Janma Bhumi Mama. This is my birthplace. Bhagwan is glorifying Ayodhya. This is my birthplace. Puri Suhavani, this most beautiful city. Uttar Disi Baha Saraju Pavani. On the northern side of Ayodhya is the Sarayu Nadi, river. And now he tells about the Sarayu Nadi. He tells about Ayodhya also, we'll see just now. Jamajjanate binahi prayasa mama sami panarapavahi basa. That the person who takes a dip in that Sarayu, they come and live with me. They come and live with Bhagwan only. And then, Ati priya mohi ha ke basi. And I love the people of Ayodhya, the citizens of Ayodhya. Mama dham da puri sukha rasi. This Ayodhya bestows my abode to its citizens. Those who live in fact, in this Ramayana, it is said that when Bhagwan left, he took everybody from Ayodhya with him. In Ramayana, he took everybody from Ayodhya with him as he was leaving. This is the great, because they lived in Ayodhya. Right next door, if you live in Gorakhpur, they didn't take you, or wherever. You see? Harashe sabakapi suni prabhubani thanya avad jo rama bakhani. And for the Lord himself to glorify a place, he says, blessed is that, has to be that place. The monkeys are so happy to hear this. Now Bhagwan reached that Ayodhya, and very interesting thing. Number 4 it is. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Utari kayo Prabhu pushpa kahi, tum kuber pahi jahu. Prerit Ram chalayo so, harasha viraho atita siya. Kahu Prabhu Pushpakahi. Bhagwan came down from that Pushpaka Viman and walked on the soil of Ayodhya, and then he instructed Pushpaka Viman. The Pushpaka Viman is that aerial chariot. That's also a very big topic all by itself. And the aerial chariot is like today's modern self-driven cars. Today we have self-driven cars, isn't it? You just sit there and watch TV, and the car will drive, go all by itself. Huh? See how advanced it was. Another thing is, anything that comes into contact with Bhagwan, anything that comes in contact with the Lord, that thing becomes jivit. Jivit means it becomes alive. Bhagwan's bow, his arrows, you go and take off the heads of Ravan and come back in his quiver, like that. They become his shankha, chakra, all of it is jivit. They take avatar. The shankha is Bharat. Some of the traditions say the chakra is Bharat. Like that. You see? So, all of them alive. Now here he instructs Pushpak Viman. And the reason why I chanted the verse is for this. You just see, Tum Kuber Pahi Jahu. You go back to Kuber. He tells Pushpak Viman, go back to Kuber. Because Ravan had taken it from Kuber. Ravan took everything from everybody. He took the wife from the Lord also. What he will not take? He took this Pushpak Viman from Kuber. So now Bhagwan took the Pushpak Viman from Ayodhya and came back to, from Lanka and came back to Ayodhya. And now he tells Pushpak Viman, you go back to Kuber. Go back to your rightful owner. Now you see here how this Prabhu is so detached from everything. You get a most prized Pushpak Viman which Ravan went and stole. And because Bhagwan conquered Lanka, now everything belongs to Bhagwan. But it is a stolen item. It is a stolen item. So we have to send back the stolen item to its rightful owner. So he sends it back to Kuber. Prerita Rama chale usso. Bhagwan said, and then Harashu, Birahu, Ati Tahu. The Pushpak Viman was at the same time joyful because I got to carry Ram today. I got chance to take Ram. And also, Birahu Ati Tahu means the pangs of separation from this Ram now also became so much for Pushpak Viman. Now I have to leave this Ram. The Rama is so wonderful that when they played football, even the ball was unhappy to leave Rama's feet. When Rama kicked that ball, Bharat seeing the ball cried. Nobody wants to leave Rama. That is the idea. And in our case, hey, let me go here, boy. Everybody wants to leave as soon as possible. But Rama, even at what we call an inert thing, doesn't want to leave the feet of Ram. Like this. Vamadeva, Vasishta, Muninayaka, all the great rishis are coming from that side. Rama now coming down from the chariot, aerial chariot on this side. And all of them come together. Dekhe Prabhu Mahi Thari Thanu Saya. Bhagwan saw them coming and put down his bow and arrow. Rishi Muni, when they come, you don't have bow and arrow. Rishi Muni is in front. He Tulsidaji takes time to write that. That when he saw them coming, quickly he put down his bow and an arrow. If you go inside to meet Babaji, you leave your kirpan and everything outside. Sword and bow and arrow. And no need. You're going to meet a Babaji and you're going to kirpan. We leave everything outside. Shoes also. You see? Dhai dhare guru charana saro ruha anuja sahita ati pulaka saro ruha. With their hairs bristling and so much of love in their heart, the two of them, Rama, Lakshmana, ran to the Guru and grabbed on his feet, like that Tulsidashi's description. Sakala Dvija Mili Naya Umata, and bowing their head to all the rishis and gurus and all the brahmanas. Dharma Durandar Raghukula Nata. Who? Dharma Durandar Ram. The Lord who is charged with protecting dharma on the earth. That Ram runs to the Guru and bows his head there. Gaye Bharata Puni Prabhupada Pankaj. And finally Bharat gets a chance to prostrate to Bhagwan Ram. Namata Jinai Sura Muni Sankara Aja. Bharat bows to that Ram, to whom bows all the gods, Muni, Rishi, Sankar Bhagwan, Aja, Brahmaji. Bharat gets to bow to that Ram, to whom all of them bow. That is Tulsidaji's description. Pare bhumi nahi uthata uthaye. He fell on the earth and he is not getting up. Not getting up. Barakari kripa sindhu uralaya. Bhagwan has to lift him up and bring him to his heart, like that Tulsidasji's description. Then in the chanda. Bujhat kripa nidhi kusala bharat hi bachan begin avai sunu seva so sukha bachan manate ja ab kusal kosal nath arath jani janadar san diyo budat birah bari sa kripa nithan mohe kar gahi liyo. Kripanidhi kusala bharat. Bhagwan Bharat. How simple also. How are you? Like we normally ask, no? Bharat, how are you? Tulsidas said Bharat couldn't speak. Words couldn't come to his. Even just to answer, it took him a while. Bachana begi na avai. Words did not come to his mouth fast. He paused. Sunu Siva, listen, oh Parvati ji, Bhagwan Shankar is telling. Sunu Siva, so Sukh Bachana Manate Bhinna Jata Jo Pavahi. That joy which Bharat has, or which Bharat had there, he's telling, that is beyond mind and body and everything. And only he who knows that joy is something else. In English we say, that's something else. Only he who has that joy, he knows. Like if you eat sugar for the first time and you have to describe it to somebody, what you will tell? And that's somebody who has never tasted sugar, right? You eat for the first time and that other person has not tasted and you have to describe sugar for them. How you will tell? Tell. If you tell sweet, the other person will not know what is sweet because he has never had sugar. But you say, That was like that, You get mook. Mook means dumb. You do not know what to say, isn't it? So Bhagwan Shiva is telling to Parvati, that joy which Bharat has, only he who has that joy, he only knows. Nobody else could know that thing, you see. Abakusala kausala nath arat jani jana darasana diyo. Now, Prabhu, knowing me to be suffering all of this time, you have come and you have given me your darshan, and now I am fine. After a while, words came. Budata viraha baris kripani thana mohikara gahi liyo. Rama, who knew that I was drowning in the pangs of separation, he came and he held my own hand, and therefore now I am fine. Puni Prabhu Harashi, Chatruhana Bhete, Hridaya Lagai, and then Bhagavan. Now, all of them now get to meet other. Bhagavan meets Shatrughna. Then Lakshmana, Bharata Mile, Lakshman meets Bharat, like that Tulsidaji describes, and all who meet everybody. And Prabhu Viloki, Harashe, Purabasi, all the people of Ayodhya was so happy to see him. Then, now Bhagavan stands there and looks. All these people of Ayodhya, they are all common, so many of them. And I have to meet one by one. When I'll finish? I'll not finish. And this great miracle he had also wrought there in Janakpur when he had gone to marry Sita ji. Tulsidashi describes. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
जिनके रही भावना जैसी,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
प्रभु मूर्ति तिन देखी जैसी,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
प्रभु मूर्ति तिन देखी तैसी,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
अमित रूप प्रगटे ते ही काला,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
जथा जोग मिले सब ही कृपाला,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
कृपा दृष्टि रघुबीर बिलोकी,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
किए सकल नर नारी विसोकी, श्री
Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
छन मही सब मिले भगवाना,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
उमा मरम यह काहू न जाना,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम,
Jaya Jaya Rama.
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम,
Shri Ram Jaya Ram,
जय जय राम. Amita Rupa Pragate Tehi Kala. That time Bhagwan took Amita Rupa, I mean countless forms. However number of people were there, Bhagwan Krishna also did this for the gopis. In Bhagavatam and all you will see. However number of gopis were there, Bhagwan took so many forms for all the gopis. Here, for every person that had come from Ayodhya to meet him on the path as he was approaching, he took a form for everybody. And Tulsidas ji also very nicely said, Uma Maramayah Kahu na jana. And nobody knew this. Parvati ji said, Bhagwan Shiva tells to Parvati, nobody knew. Everybody thought, oh, Rama has come to meet me personally. Nobody knew that he had taken so many forms. Kripa drishti ragubira biloki, kiye sakala nara nari bisoki. And giving this most gracious darshan to all of them, everybody's sorrow melted away into the firmament. Nobody had an ounce of sorrow thereafter. Chanamahi sabai mile Bhagwan. In a moment he met everybody. In the final analysis, he is Bhagwan. If he cannot do it, then he is no Bhagwan. If he cannot do this, then what Bhagwan he is? This is Lord of the universe, who is Sarva Vyapi, and nothing for him also, no effort. He just has to manifest in front of everybody. And he doesn't have to come in front of everybody. Bhagwan doesn't have to come in front of every citizen of Ayodhya. Bhagwan is already in front of every citizen of Ayodhya. He just has to manifest there. So, what is different between presence and manifestation? They are two different things. Presence means the thing may be there, but not visible. So, from the state of invisibility, something that is already pre-existing, just to become visible, already there. Bhagwan did not come in front of them. He manifested in front of them. Because he cannot come anywhere. He is already all pervasive, sarva vyapi. Hari vyapaka sarvatra samana. They are everywhere. And so in a moment, he was able to give this darshan. And this is kripa drishti. Tulsidas, how such sweet words. Kripa drishti raghuvirabi loki. He gave this darshan to everybody in a moment only. Then Rama met all of the mothers. Ati prema prabhu sabamata bheti. like that, meeting one by one. And now also Sita ji meeting all of them. Then Puni Raghupati sab sakha bolaye. Muni Pat, no, it's a very interesting thing. Now you have to see this, It's after number 7. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
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 Puni Raghupati sab sakha bolaye.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Muni pad lagahu sakal sikhaye.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Gur vasishta kula pujya hamare.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
इनकी कृपा धनुज रन मारे.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम.
Shri Ram
जय राम, जय
Jai Ram.
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. पुनि रघुपति सब सखा बोलाए. Bhagwan, no, this is a very interesting chop pipe. Please pay attention. Several things are there. One is the important thing is Bhagwan calls all of his sakha. And also the monkeys, so who are there? Monkey and bear, Jamuan, Hanumanji, Nal, Neel, Angad, Sugriv, all these, they came with him on the Pushpak Viman. He calls all of them. And Tulsidaji addresses all of them as sakha. They are all his friends. And friends are equals. Because when you are hanging out with your friend, when you go for ice cream and all, and you see you get nice pistachio and he get chocolate, and you say, so stupid chocolate, boy, you know. Friends are equals or not? Friends are equal, isn't it? Of everything you want to get chocolate, why is so stupid? I mean, whatever you like, you will tell whatever he get, that not good, right? Anyway, so first thing is Bhagavan addresses all of them as friends, equals. And yesterday we saw the monkeys themselves, Prabhu, if Garud is on an errand for Bhagavan, you are praising us for doing this and doing that. But if Garud is on an errand for Bhagavan and he meets a mosquito on the way, that mosquito could help him in that errand. What did mosquito will do? Garud is an eagle whose wings is spread like that, and he meets a mosquito. Even by passing, the mosquito will fall over. Isn't it? With the breeze. So this is how the monkeys feel about themselves. Like a mosquito in front of Garud. Yesterday we saw this. Now today, Bhagwan is telling, they are all my sakha, which means equals. Then, Puni Raghupati sab sakha bolaye. He calls all of them. Then, Muni pada lagahu sakala sikhaye. And what a wonderful thing. He teaches this. Now these are monkeys. Monkeys and bears and all, they don't know about prostrating to anybody, you know. They live by law of the jungle. So he tells, now all of you prostrate to Guru Vasishta. Come on, one by one, let's see. He made all of them prostrate to. And Tulsidas uses sikhaye. Sikhaye, what you will know. He taught them the art of prostration. See what a thing? And Guru Vasishta Kula Pujya Hamare, he explains who is this Guru also. Guru Vasishta, he is the worshipable, most venerable Guru Vasishta of our family. He explains to them. And then next line also. Inaki Kripa Danuja Rana Mare. And he tells to Guru Vasishta. While monkeys are prostrating, everybody is prostrating to Guru Vasishta. Bhagwan is telling to Guru Vasishna, it is because of the kripa of these monkeys, it is because of the help and assistance of these monkeys, we were able to conquer Ravan and kill all the Rakshasas of there. Bhagwan Ram, you will see, from the moment it was achieved, from the moment they removed Ravan, first he told that it is because of the glory of the help of all of these monkeys, we were able to remove Ravan. Then Dasharathji Maharaj came there. We saw that, I don't know, yesterday or the day before. Dasharathji Maharaj came on the battlefield there. From Swarga. He presented himself there. That time, the first thing he told, Pitaji, because of your kripa, we were able to conquer all these Rakshasas. Now, he's telling Guru Vasisht, again, because of this Hanumanji and this Angad and all of them who are here, because of their kripa, we are able to conquer this. In other words, what Bhagavan is telling throughout the whole story is, he is disowning any kartritva bhava, is technical word in Sanskrit, but any doership. And kartritva bhava we call doership. And that is one of the two strong legs of the ego. The other leg of the ego is what we call bhoktritva bhava. Ego has these two legs that he walks on very nicely. Oh, that I enjoy so, oh, that ice cream was so good, boy. Swamiji, yeah, pizza was so good, make some again now. Bhoktritva bhava. Enjoyment of this and that. The ego likes to enjoy. Or when we praise somebody, right? And that thing goes in the air. Like that. That goes to the ego. And he enjoys that praise. Tell me one more time now. It's called bhoktritva bhava. Ego thrives on that thing. And the other one is kartritva bhava. If it wasn't for me, all you're dead, you know. The ego likes this thing. Anything that happens. Swamiji, you see that tree in the yard there? I planted it, you know. He planted it. So he likes to take credit for things. Without me, that would not have happened, and without me, the other thing would not have happened. And like that. He likes that kind of thing. That's called as kartritva bhav. And see, Bhagwan, the moment Ravan fell, Bhagwan is disowning every kartritva bhav from that moment itself. Up till now, they're back in Ayodhya also. And he said, because of their kripa, the Rakshasas were. This doership thing, kartritva bhav, this has to be removed. This is one of the legs of the ego. It likes that. And sometimes I tell you, we take credit for something we did not do also. I am responsible. You know, I was reading this I used to sit there in that near Tulsi Ghat in Gangapar in Banaras, and I used to read these lines, that time I was now learning to read, so I used to read those lines. And then I saw some of how Bhagwan is disowning this kartritva bhav. Right? Then I left there, zap, I landed in Trinidad. In California, where I stayed there. Behind the house, there's a drain. It's wide like this building here. Big concrete drain, this width. So I used to always be amazed at the size of that drain and how much of construction work went into that. And you know, lo and behold, pretty soon a man came and he said, Swamiji, I built that drain. One man can't build that drain. Isn't it? It is a huge concrete drain and one man cannot build it. But he's taking the credit. I know reading that in Ramayana and come there and hear it live. He was a supervisor on the job. Then he didn't put one stone. In one stone even. But then he says, that is ego talking. Without Rama, nothing could have happened here. But Rama is giving the credit to everybody. So many things in that. One, chaupai. So like that, so many nice chaupais are there. Then, all the celebrations start now. Everybody met each other and the celebrations all began now. Various types of things there. Tulsidashi. after number 9. Very interestingly. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Prabhu Jani Kai Kai La Jani. Shri Ram प्रथमता सुगृह गए भवानी ताहि प्रबोधि बहुत सुख दीना उनि निज भवन कवन हरि लीना
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री
Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे राम हरे हरे श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय प्रभु जानी कई कई ल जानी see how sensitive how thoughtful how sweet of Bhagwan Ram. Bhagwan thought in his mind, Kaikeyi is still full of so much of shame. She's so ashamed of what she had done. And so now when they came to the palace, Bhagwan went straight first to Kaikeyi's palace. Of all the queens, Bhagwan went straight to Kaikeyi's palace. And Prathamata Sugriha Gaye Bhavani, Bhagwan Shankar tells to Bhavani. That Bhagwan goes there first, Bhagwan Ram goes to her. Then Tahi Prabodhi, Tulsidaji's words. 2 words. Tahi Prabodhi, Bahut Sukh Dinha. 2 things. And there he did, now see, Tulsidashi doesn't write what lot of knowledge he gave to explanation. He gave to Kaikeyi, Prabodhi. He made her understand, lot of understanding. In other words, Bhagwan would have told so many wonderful things to Kaikeyi. Oh, Kaikeyi, you don't worry about this. This is a whole big plan. If you were not there as the instrument, none of this would have happened. Prabodhi means he made her understand. So the important thing is, understanding is a very important thing. If the proper understanding is not there, Sukha cannot come. The next word is Sukha. Bahut Sukha Deenha. Yeah, and same thing. Deen hi Gyan, Hari Lini, Maya. To Tara, Bhagwan had given Gyan, knowledge. See, Prabodhi and knowledge, they are one and same. Both knowledge. I tell you, look here. Suppose you feel some pain, some hurt, something, right? And somebody comes and they give you a nice hug. Oh, don't cry, don't cry. You are such a sweet person. You're nice, you know. Don't cry. And they give you, and they comfort you, right? Does that have any guarantee
that your pain or your sorrow will go away. For the moment while they are there, while they are giving you this hug and they are giving you the company and all of talking to you nicely, your pain or your sorrow may abate. But if you do not find out exactly what is the cause of the sorrow and remove the cause, the effect will keep coming. Isn't it? The cause of the sorrow has to be removed, then the effect, which is the sorrow, that will stop. So, in these cases where you see the sorrow of Kaikai or there is sorrow of Tara, you see two very important times. Mandodari also. Bhagwan gives Gyan, knowledge. So I have to know this sorrow is caused by this thing. But this cause, which is this sorrow, is cause of no consequence. I remove this cause, then sorrow will go away. You see. Knowledge is that which actually removes dukkha. We can have temporary removal of dukkha or sorrow by this thing or that thing or the other thing. But until a person gets knowledge, that dukkha cannot go. There is no chance. Please pay attention to this. And this is what the human being does. Instead of getting knowledge to remove ignorance, which is the cause of sorrow, ignorance is the cause of sorrow. Get knowledge, remove that ignorance, and all sorrow will go. Instead of doing that, what the human being does, he gets every little paltry trinket in this world to remove the sorrow temporarily for a moment. And today I'm okay. Why? 2 people visited me. So I'm fine. I'm feeling good today. Then 2 months pass, nobody visit him. Then what? Miserable. So you have to find why when 2 people visited you, you got happiness? Because you are lonely. Okay. So loneliness is the cause of the sorrow. But why are you feeling lonely? Because there is ignorance. You don't realize that Bhagwan is always with you. There is ignorance of that fact. So knowledge will now remove that ignorance of that fact. Oh, Bhagwan is always with me. Then when that discovery comes, you learn to enjoy your aloneness. Look, it's an amazing thing. In this world, many people are lonely, and on one side. And the other side, many people, oh, I want to run away from this maddening crowd. He wants to go somewhere and sit quietly. So some decide they want company of people, and some want to run away from the company of people. Both the times, I have to get knowledge to make sure that the ignorance of the fact that Bhagwan is always with me. Bhagwan could never leave anybody. Surdas challenged Bhagwan one day. I want to see you come out from my heart. Try. Where you will go? Bhagwan is sarvavyapi. He cannot not be sarvavyapi. All pervasive. So, knowledge is that thing which removes sorrow. So Bhagwan, tahi prabodhi bahut sukh dina, and that brought so much of joy to Kaikai. But the interesting thing there is, he goes first to Kaikai with his sensitivity. Is such an important thing. Now, what is the next step now? Next step is called as coronation. Guru Vasishtha tells, Guru Vasishtha Dvijat le bolai aaj sughari sudin samudai. Today is the perfect day. Why wait? Sabadvija Dev Harashi Anusasan Ramachandra Bhaiti Singhasan. Time to put Rama on the Singhasan. But that will happen tomorrow. Okay. Our timing for that is gone away today. Okay. Now, let me tell you some announcements. Tomorrow, our satsang, and those who are listening, please pay attention to this. And tomorrow it was supposed to be in another temple. It has changed. Because in that temple, several people got COVID. So they get scared. So now, where it is tomorrow? Maha Milan Mandir, Pear Road, Charlieville. What is that? Night 99, okay. Tomorrow is 99. Number 99 night. Today 98, that means. Dosa, Dasa Doha chanting, Pani Vishram Vishala Sivda, thank you. Not dosa, dosa. Coming up on the 30th of May. All right. Let me tell you some announcements and then we will have the vote of thanks and all that. In about 1 week time, we are having the Varsha Pratipada Sansad Hindu New Year celebration. And this year, it is at the Hindu Prachar Kendra, 30th of April, 10 to 12 a.m. You can also get it live. It will be streamed live and all of that. Then from 6 to 8 of May, we have Gurudev Jayanti Yajna at the ashram. We are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 12. Okay, 6 to 8 of May. And 30th of May, we have Chai Sanmelan at the ashram. Chai Sanmelan. This year, you have a variety of chai, Kulhat chai and Kadak chai in addition to regular chai. Kadak chai means lashing chai. That is chai. Chai means tea, eh? And I keep telling, please listen and tell all your friends and everybody. It's not chai tea. Either you say, I want tea or I want chai. Don't go and say, I want chai tea. Because chai is the Hindi word for tea. You ever go in a roti shop, I want roti, roti. You ever go and ask? Nobody asks like that. I want chai. Okay, so we have these varieties of chai, and I told there's a scientific explanation for Kulhat chai. Recently, I seen the Prime Minister Modi had gone to Varanasi, and as soon as he landed there, he asked for Kulhat chai. Chai in that clay pot. That clay changes the taste of the chai. And scientifically that happens. So, we'll have that also this year. Then we have a whole lot of nice things to eat. Come and try out on 30th, Indian Arrival Day. Alright. Garam Masala restaurant is open for dine-in or take-away now. Back to normal dining in and all of that. From 21st to 24th, 20th to 24th, 20th to 24th of July, we have residential camp at the ashram. Both myself and Swami Ishwarananji, who is there in LA, will be conducting this camp. You have to come and stay there for the 5 days. Okay. Chinmaya Mission Vidyalaya, our school, you all should take a drive down and come and see. New school is going to be open in September and registration is going on. It's a huge facility with all modern facilities of smart boards and all different things that are required for modern education. Is there in the school. All right. For the Chai Sanmelan, if there is anybody who want to sponsor any of the ingredients, please, you can do so. There's a list. If I'm making pizza, so I need about 10 pounds of flour. If you could give me 10 pounds of flour, that would be good. Or whatever ingredient you can give and all. All right. Okay, now let me call on Prasad recipient Srinivas Mohit to receive this Prasad. And Srinivasji will also give a vote of thanks. And then we will have Aarti. The whole Ramayana we did in 1718. 500 hours of Ramayana on a flash drive. Okay. They'll give you a microphone here.
Sairam, Sitaram,
Sairam,
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, how are you? It's not often we give vote of thanks at Sai functions, but tonight is indeed a very, very special occasion because it's like a breath of fresh air after all these years of COVID and whatnot. That we are so fortunate that Swami has come to spend this afternoon with us. Yeah. You know, I was very, very fortunate when I was a little child, about 6 years old. My dad took me to see Swami Chinmaya, and even now I remember it was at Gandhi Tagore College. Right. It was a very, very thin guy, you know, radiating But when he walk, it's like he used to be floating on the ground. I don't know who saw him at that time, but that's the impression I got. But nevertheless, to the vote of thanks, nothing is possible without the will of the Lord. So we will thank the Lord first for this beautiful afternoon we have, or we had, or we are having. I want to pay a special thank you to Swami and the Chinmaya mission for this beautiful exercise that happened here this afternoon. In fact, it's such a beautiful exercise that is happening throughout the country. Mm-hmm. It reminds me of the days of production in the 80s, and this 108 gallon of Ramayana lectures all over the country is like a breath of fresh air that is so much needed in our society, When you really see what's happening and whatnot and thing, you cannot help but thank Swami for this great gesture to try and bring a semblance of vibration and good vibrations to our society. I also want to thank the students, the brahmacharis and the brahmacharinis for being here with us this afternoon. It makes our center more sacred by your visit here this afternoon. I also want to thank my brother Pandit Siurat. We go way back since production, Pichikari and his lovely daughter Vishala, who rendered such beautiful verses from the Holy Ramayana for us this afternoon. And we thank you and your dad very, very much, and we hope you all will visit us at some time again. I cannot help but also thank our sound and media personnel who was here very punctually at 5 o'clock and for giving us such great service. Hope that the Lord will continue to bless you and bless your businesses as the case might be, and may you grow from strength to strength. I want to thank the audience in general for giving off your busy schedule and actually coming out in the dark, so to speak. People really leave their houses so much these days and whatnot to come and visit us here this afternoon. And we thank you all very much. My wife told me that I should thank the members of the center. So to the members of the center, especially the Ganesh, the Jairams, especially my cousin Rajan and his wife Cheryl, who give human service. We have some visitors here from the States. Shami, I've never seen him work so hard. That's my brother from Florida. Thanks for, and his elder brother Vijay. We don't normally catch them, so to speak. So we thank you all very, very, very much for the human service you all have done. And to our members who served at the Sai Kitchen in San Fernando, who prepared the meals this afternoon, we want to thank them very much for the sacrifice they made, because it's a very, very long day. We had to do 2 sets of cooking. And I hope you all enjoy the food. I do not have much more to thank, but again, I want to say this was a very, very beautiful exercise. I hope you all got very, very good vibrations, and I hope Baba will continue to bless Swami and continue to give him the strength and the vision what he has for the people of this country. It's so heartwarming to know that a real up-to-date modern school is going to be open in September. And can we give them a round of applause for that, please? So thank you all very much, and Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you so much. Okay, please do have a look at our bookstall on your way out. There are many. Guru Stotram Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam. The commentary is there. You can see commentary on Guru Stotram. The 5 rides for children and manual of self-unfoldment. It's a very nice book, just like Kindle Life. You all have to see. Oh, Om Cooking. Om Cooking at Home. Cookbook, vegetarian cookbook. You can find there also. Nice vegetarian recipes. Okay, we want to say a very special thank you to the members of the Gasperlo Sai Center also for having us. We had a wonderful time, and it's great to be part of your whole experience here at your center. Thank you for hosting. हरि ओम. आरती के लिए सब खड़े हो जाइए, बाद में देखेंगे. आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद सुख सनकादिशेष सारद बरनी पवन सुत कीरतिनी बोलो
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कर ललित सिय पीठी आरती श्री रामायण जी कीरति कर ललित सिय पीठी
गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश छो शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस मुनिजन धन संतन को सर्वस सार अंश सम्मत सब ही बोलो
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कर ललित सिय पीठी आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कर ललित सिय पीठी
गावत संतत शंभु भवानी अरुगत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि बर्ज बखानी कागभूषुंड गरुड़ के ही
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कर ललित सिय पीठी आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कर ललित सिय पीठी
कमल हरनि विषय रस फीकी ध्रुवती की दलन रोग भव मूरी अमी की तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कर ललित सिय पीठी आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कर ललित सिय पीठी
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय 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 राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरि त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। बोलिए भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम तत्सत। प्लीज ऑल सिट।